大家好. Welcome back to episode 4 of our Travel Experiences series for HSC Chinese continuers. So far, we've built travel vocabulary and sequencing structures, added descriptive and emotional language, and practiced listening to a travel dialogue. Today, we're diving into reading comprehension. We'll read 3 short, authentic texts, a personal blog post, a recount, and an email, and learn how to understand their purpose, tone, and key details using practical reading strategies. Target goal: to understand and analyze Chinese descriptive texts, identifying their purpose, audience, and tone, while applying reading strategies like skimming, scanning, and inferring meaning from context. Success criteria. By the end of this episode, you'll be able to identify the main idea and key features in a short blog post or recount, explain the purpose and tone of a travel reflection, and apply 3 practical reading strategies: skim, scan, and infer. Let's get started. We'll begin with our first text, a personal recount about an exchange student's life in Xi'an. This is a common text type in the HSC, so let's break it down and see how the student shares her experience. Text 1.
我的西安生活
My life in Xi'an. Take a moment to read the text through carefully.
大家好，我是来自澳大利亚的交换生安娜。我已经在西安学习了2个多月。刚来的时候，我觉得生活节奏很快，早上6点半就要起床。虽然有点累，但是同学们都很热情。周末，我喜欢和寄宿家庭一起去古城墙散步。城墙又高又长，风景很美。上个星期，我们去参观了兵马俑，那些士兵看起来都不一样，真神奇。西安的小吃特别有名，我最喜欢肉夹馍和凉皮。虽然有点辣，但是味道很好。晚饭后，我们常去夜市，那儿很热闹，有很多人唱歌卖东西。现在我已经习惯了这里的生活，因为朋友们的帮助，我的中文进步了不少。我觉得在西安的每一天都很充实，也让我更了解中国文化。
Let's break it down. Now, let's talk through some key points from the text together. First question, what challenge did Anna face when she first arrived in Xi'an? She found life in Xi'an very fast-paced and had to wake up early every morning. In the text, Anna says, 早上6点半就要起床，虽然有点累. That means, I have to get up at 6:30 a.m., although it's a bit tiring. This tells us that adapting to the faster pace of life was her main challenge when she first arrived. Next, how does she describe her classmates? Anna says that her classmates are very friendly and warm-hearted. She writes, 同学们都很热情, which means the classmates are all very enthusiastic. This shows she felt welcomed and supported by the people around her. Now, what does Anna do on weekends? On weekends, she spends time with her host family, walking along the ancient city wall and visiting famous places like the Terracotta Warriors. The text says, 周末我喜欢和寄宿家庭一起去古城墙散步。上个星期我们去参观了兵马俑. Which means, on weekends, I like walking on the city wall with my host family. Last week we visited the Terracotta Warriors. This shows that she enjoys both family time and cultural exploration. Next question, how does Anna describe Xi'an's food and the night market? She loves Xi'an's famous snacks, finds them a little spicy but very tasty, and says the night market is lively and full of energy. She writes, 我最喜欢肉夹馍和凉皮，虽然有点辣，但是味道很好. That means, I love rojameo, a Chinese-style meat sandwich, and lian pi, a cold noodle dish. Although they're a bit spicy, they taste great. She also says, 夜市很热闹，有很多人唱歌卖东西, which means the night market is very lively, with lots of people singing and selling things. This shows she really enjoys the food, the energy, and the atmosphere of local life in Xi'an. Finally, how does she feel about her experience overall? She writes, 我觉得在西安的每一天 都很充实，也让我更了解中国文化。That means every day in Xi'an feels meaningful, and it's helped me understand Chinese culture more deeply. So overall, her reflection is very positive. Life in Xi'an is busy, but it's rewarding and culturally enriching. Anna's recount shows her personal growth and enthusiasm for cultural learning. She faced some challenges at first, but through friendship, food, and everyday experiences, she learned to love her life in Xi'an. Time to practice our reading strategies. Now, let's shift gears and talk about some practical reading strategies you can use when tackling any reading passage on the HSC. 1. Skimming. Get the gist. When you skim a text, you're reading it quickly to get an overall sense of the topic. Focus on the title, headings, and the opening and closing sentences. Think about who's writing, what's the general tone. Is it positive, negative, or neutral? 2. Scanning. Find details fast. When you scan a text, you're looking for specific details quickly. Tip: underline important words like 周末 or 兵马俑, and then read the surrounding sentences carefully to find your answer. 3. Descriptive analysis and inferring meaning from context. Use surrounding words to guess the meaning of new vocabulary. Look for adjectives or adverbs that show the emotional tone. For example, in the sentence, 那些士兵看起来都不一样，真神奇. Even if you don't know 神奇, you can infer it means something like amazing or incredible based on the context. Let's try another one. Next, we're going to apply these strategies to another descriptive recount, this time about an Australian experience, a trip to the Gold Coast. Text 2. 黄金海岸之旅. Gold Coast trip recount. Take a second to read through the text and think about its tone. Is it relaxing, adventurous, or something else?
黄金海岸之旅。去年夏天，我和家人去了澳大利亚的黄金海岸旅行。黄金海岸是一个非常受欢迎的旅游目的地，以其美丽的沙滩和刺激的游乐园而闻名。我们住在海边的一个酒店，每天早上都能看到壮观的日出。除了在海滩上晒太阳和游泳之外，我们还去了几个大型主题公园，比如电影世界和海洋世界。我觉得主题公园的经历特别刺激，而且有很多有趣的表演。晚上我们尝了新鲜的海鲜，还去了夜市。这次旅行非常放松，也充满乐趣，给我留下了很多难忘的记忆。我一定会推荐朋友们去黄金海岸玩。
Time for some questions. What are 3 words or phrases the author uses to express their strong, positive feelings about the trip? Does the author recommend the Gold Coast to their friends, and why? Let's check out the answers. Acceptable answers include 非常受欢迎, very popular, 美丽的沙滩, beautiful beaches, 特别刺激, especially exciting, 有趣的表演, interesting performances, 难忘的记忆, unforgettable memories, 非常放松, very relaxing. Yes, the author recommends it because the trip was very relaxing and full of fun, 非常放松充满趣味, and they really enjoyed the exciting theme parks, 特别刺激. Phrases like 美丽的沙滩 and 特别刺激 give the text a positive, enthusiastic tone, showing that the trip was not just relaxing, but also full of adventure. Now, let's look at an email example. Emails are another common text type in the HSC. In this example, Xiaoming is inviting his friend to travel with him to Beijing. Text 3. 小明的电邮, Xiaoming's email. Take a moment to read the email carefully.
小明的电邮，发件人小明，收件人兰兰，主题有关下个月的旅行。兰兰，你好，听说你下个月要去北京旅行，是吗？我希望我们可以一起去。我在网上查了，北京的交通非常方便，地铁四通八达。如果你愿意，我们可以先去爬长城，然后再去吃地道的北京烤鸭。 因为我从来没去过北京，所以我特别兴奋。尽快给我回信，告诉我你的想法。小明。
Practice task 1. PAC analysis, email. Identify the purpose, audience, and context of this email. And 2. Fact extraction, email. Write down 2 things Xiaoming plans to do in Beijing. Hence for thinking it through. Purpose? Why did Xiaoming write the email? Audience? Who is he writing to? Context? What is happening or what is the situation? Details. Look for activities Xiaoming specifically mentions doing in Beijing. Let's talk it through together. Xiaoming's purpose is to invite his friend to travel with him and start making plans for the trip they're hoping to take to Beijing next month. His audience is his friend Lan Lan, so the tone is friendly and casual. The context is a chat about a trip they're hoping to take to Beijing next month. From the details he shares, we can see that Xiaoming wants to climb the Great Wall and eat authentic Beijing roast duck. Today, we've read and analyzed key features of the recount and email text types, applied the core reading strategies, skimming, scanning, and descriptive analysis. Remember, reading comprehension isn't just about understanding the words, it's about noticing